Secretary Noem, under your leadership, we have seen you ignore our appropriation laws, our Constitution, common sense, and even basic humanity. And like a lot of Americans, I really have been horrified by the lawlessness and incompetence and cruelty that we have all witnessed. And for all the talk about going after criminals, you have sidetracked DHS staff who are investigating drug dealers, terrorists, human traffickers. And rather than photo ops, we need more of your focus on providing basic diligence.
I need a little help from a chair that respects the members of the
Madam
committee. I'm sorry,
Secretary.
Chair. This is
You pretty much secured the southern border, haven't you?
Yes, sir. The CBP,
And
that
that upsets some of my colleagues, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. They say you've done it the wrong way, haven't they? Mm-hmm. Could you answer that?
Yes, sir. They do say that.
Do you think they're upset because you supposedly did it the wrong way, or you think they're upset that you did it at all?
Hey everyone, welcome back to Incorrupt Truth, the one place left where truth isn't for sale. Before we dive in, grab your favorite snack, drink, or whatever helps you chill, because tonight, we're not just watching a hearing, we're watching history trying to rewrite itself. They say, when power grows comfortable, truth becomes inconvenient. Well, tonight, truth walked back into the room wearing the faces of Senator John Kennedy and Governor Kristi Noem. So let's dive in and see what really happened before we share our thoughts and beliefs. Because your voice matters. My voice matters. And without the voice of the people, this nation is just paperwork on a dying table. Welcome to Incorrupt Truth, where the people speak and Washington listens, whether they like it or not.
Now, in the last 3 months, you have frozen or canceled over $100 billion in funding that was approved by Congress, bipartisan. We are talking about everything from disaster relief to grants that keep people safe. But when my staff has requested information on the status of this unacceptable holdup, the department failed to provide any acceptable justification. This illegal freeze, and it is illegal, is taking a real toll on communities who are waiting on the investments that Congress has delivered. So will you commit to immediately unpausing these funds?
Well, Senator, thank you for covering a lot of topics there. Let me touch on a few of those right away.
Well,
what the
if
Trump
you could
administration
answer-
is doing
I know
is
you've
enforcing the law for the first time. Under the Biden administration,
I'm asking you about the funds.
illegal
that are out
aliens
there.
were prioritized over American citizens. Now the scales of justice have been leveled, and
Madam
no one
Chair,
is
I'm gonna
treated
reclaim
better
my
than
time
anyone
because I
else.
asked you a
Citizens
specific
are treated
question.
the same,
Madam
and these
Secretary,
illegal
I know
aliens
your
and criminals
answer.
are being
I heard
deported.
it previously. I'm asking you a
The
specific
grants that
question.
you are referencing,
Correct.
the grants that you are referencing have been paused and reevaluated to make sure that they are truly being spent in the way to which they were appropriated.
Well, these
Many of-
Do you think they're upset because you supposedly did it the wrong way, or you think they're upset that you did it at all?
I think they're upset that by President Trump enforcing the law, it happened so quickly and successfully.
Yeah. Now, when President Biden came into office, the first thing he did was get rid of all of the things we were doing to stop people from coming into our country illegally, didn't he?
Yes.
I mean, it was like The Price is Right. Come on down. Except he said, come on in. And most of my Democratic colleagues went along with that, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
In fact, they cheered him on, didn't they? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
How many people do you think President Biden let into our country illegally? Just give me a ballpark figure.
Sir, we don't know for certain, but we believe it could be upwards to 20 million people that are illegally in this country.
So that's like adding 10 Nebraskas to our country, isn't it?
That's correct.
Why do you think President Biden and my Democratic colleagues did that? Do you think they believe in open borders?
I think they believed in open borders and letting people come into this country that would affect our society and criminals. Those other countries emptying out the worst of the worst, their mental institutions, their prisons came in here and jeopardized, and known terrorists.
Well, only one or two circumstances are possible, it seems to me. Either President Biden and the Democrats who supported him believe in open borders, or the people that President Biden put in charge of securing the border, you wouldn't trust to run a snowball stand, right?
That is correct.
So nobody is that incompetent. So it has to be, they just believe in open borders, do they not?
Yes, because I know the people who were securing the border and they weren't allowed to do their job.
Do you think they believe that vetting people at the border is racist?
Yes, I do. I think by the way they allowed people in and granted them immediate parole
Do
status.
you think that President Biden and some of my Democratic colleagues, I don't want to paint with too broad a brush, Madam Secretary, thought of these foreign nationals in our country illegally as potential new voters?
I do, sir.
Okay. If you're an ordinary American and you oppose illegal immigration, but you support legal immigration, does that make you a racist?
No, sir. No, sir, not at all. It just means that you believe there should be a rule of law, and that's what America was built on.
And that's what you've been enforcing, right?
Exactly. We have been following the Constitution and the rule of law in this country.
And I want to be sure I understand, because there's been a lot of confusing testimony here. You've secured the border, have you not?
This administration has, yes, sir.
And some of my colleagues are upset with you,
Yes, sir.
and they say you did it wrong.
Yes, sir.
And do you agree with me that what they're really upset about is that you did it at all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to ask you a last question about our federal judiciary. I've said repeatedly that all of us has a moral and a civic obligation to follow federal orders, and I stand by that. But there have been a lot of national injunctions, universal injunctions issued to try to stop you from doing your job. Where were these judges when people were breaking the law and coming into our country illegally? Were any of them speaking up and issuing national injunctions against the Democrats?
I don't believe I can be specific about every single judge, but these judges that now are trying to stop us from enforcing our laws, I don't believe or recall them.
Can you
being
think,
vocal then.
Madam Secretary, of one single solitary federal judge who, when President Biden and my Democratic colleagues, not all of them, but many of them,
Gentleman's time's expired.
Secretary or Senator Murray went on over about 2 minutes, so I'm going to take a minute.
Senator Van
Well, if
Allen
you
just got
can-
shut down.
Yes,
right
if
on
you
the
can,
zeros.
if you can finish your question.
Can you recall one single solitary federal judge when President Biden and my Democratic colleagues were letting 20 million people come into the country illegally?
I don't recall.
Can you think of
Thank
one
you.
single solitary judge
you.
that
This
is
issued
more
a
than-
national
Thank you. This is
injunction
more than
to
one
stop
question.
them?
No, I can't recall.
I can't either. If there weren't
you,
for
Senator
double
Kennedy.
standards
Madam Chair,
around
Okay.
here,
Okay.
there wouldn't
So
be any
Senator
standards
Peters.
at all, Madam
Thank
Secretary.
Thank you.
Committee
Thank you,
down
Senator Kennedy.
I'd-
Senator Peters.
Madam-
It started like a storm. Senator Patty Murray unleashed every accusation she could. Lawlessness, cruelty, misuse of power. She said Noem froze $100 billion in funding, called it illegal, called it inhumane. But Noem? Calm, focused. She didn't flinch. She said, "We're enforcing the law. We're reevaluating where your tax dollars go. Because corruption doesn't hide in shadows, it hides in signatures." That line hit me because that's what this channel stands for. Incorrupt. Truth isn't about sides, it's about honesty. And when someone stands for the rule of law while being painted as cruel, that's when you know truth is shaking the walls of comfort. Then came Senator John Kennedy. Slow Louisiana drawl, sharp as a blade. He didn't throw insults. He asked questions. Simple, powerful ones. Did you secure the border? Yes, sir. Are they mad you did it the wrong way or that you did it at all? Boom, that's not politics, that's precision. As Kennedy spoke, you could almost hear the echo of an old proverb I live by. When truth stands calm, lies begin to sweat. If you're feeling that truth too, hit that subscribe button. Join the Incorrupt Truth family and share this video right now. Because the only way truth survives is when we carry it forward. Kennedy and Noem dropped the bombshell, nearly 20 million illegal immigrants under Biden's watch. That's like adding 10 Nebraskas to America. They asked, was it incompetence or intention? And the answer was chilling. It's open borders, Noem said. A choice, not a mistake. Other nations emptying their prisons and pouring their problems into ours. And I couldn't help but think, a nation without borders is like a heart without skin. It bleeds until it dies. Washington forgot that. But Incorrupt Truth won't. Kennedy cut through the noise again. If you oppose illegal immigration but support legal immigration, does that make you a racist? Noem answered, no, sir. It means you believe in the rule of law. And right there, silence. Because the loudest lie in modern politics is that law equals hate. No, law equals order. Order equals survival. Without it, we're not a country, we're a waiting room for collapse. Justice isn't cruel. It's the spine of freedom. Drop a comment right now. Tell me if you agree. Should law ever bow to emotion? Let's make Washington read what real Americans think. Kennedy didn't stop there. He asked the question no one dares to. Where were the judges, the same ones who issue injunctions now when millions crossed illegally under Biden? Silence. No one spoke. Because justice, it seems, wears a blindfold that peeks. And I'll say this. When justice chooses sides, liberty packs her bags. That's the truth they don't want trending, but here on Incorrupt Truth, it's already out in the open. So here's what we saw. 2 senators, one truth. One side cried cruelty, the other practiced law. And somewhere between them stands a nation desperate for honesty. And that's why Incorrupt Truth exists, to remind Washington that this country doesn't run on politics. It runs on people. On voices like yours. So tell me, what's your truth? What do you want the White House to hear? Drop it raw, drop it real, down in the comments. Because when you speak, they have to listen. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video with everyone who still believes in justice. And remember, truth may walk alone, but it never walks backward. This is Incorrupt Truth, where honesty is still louder than power. Stay free, stay fearless, and I'll see you in the next one.